Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking, where we talk about how we can all become better speakers, attract more clients, and of course, bring God to more stages every time we speak. Now, today we're going to talk about professional speakers, as you all are, but our topic today is about great speakers, not just professional speakers, but great speakers never ever memorize their speech. Now, we've seen over the years when maybe we haven't done it, but we've seen over the years where other people have done it. So I'm going to give you 7 reasons why speakers don't memorize their speech. 7 reasons why great speakers don't memorize their speech. So get your pens and pencils ready to write these notes down. So if anybody ever asks you, well, why aren't you memorizing your speech? You can give them any one of these, whatever your favorite one is, and you can just kind of hit it between the eyes. Okay, number one, memorization kills authenticity. Yes, memorization kills authenticity. How can you be authentic? How can you be in the moment when you're worried about what you're going to say next, worried about saying it exactly the way that you wrote it? So when you're trying to remember the next sentence, the focus is what? The focus shifts away from the audience and you're in your head, right? You're in your head. You're not thinking about them. You're not connecting with them. The focus actually shifts to where you're just all right here. So memorization kills authenticity. And as speakers, we want to be authentic. We talk about being authentic. We talk about speaking from the heart. And speaking from the heart does not mean that you don't have a prepared speech. I have to say it often because people think, oh, well, I just speak from the heart. I just speak off the cuff. Well, guess what? When you do that, you're meandering around. It's like trying to go to some location without directions, without your GPS. You might get there, but you're going to go out of the way. And in turn, you're going to bore your audience and you're going to lose them completely. So, whenever I say speak from the heart, I am never talking about speaking off the cuff or any kind of inappropriate, unplanned talk unless you are asked in the moment to deliver a speech. And that could be different, but you all know the formula. All right. So instead of having a conversation, you are having more of a recital if you're memorizing it, right? It's just a recital, it's not a conversation. All right. So think about this. I want you to write this down because I love this quote. And this is something that I developed myself. Great speakers don't memorize speeches, they master messages. Right? Write that down. Great speakers don't memorize speeches, they master messages. And that's what you do when you rehearse that speech over and over and over. You're mastering the message, you're mastering the words. You're not memorizing it. Memorizing is when you have it all written down and you're going, the cat in the box, the cat in the box, the cat in the box, the cat in the box. How many of you have done that in school, right? Come on. We all have, right? In school we had to
Yeah,
memorize the Gettysburg Address or something. You like say the first line over and over and over and over, and then the next line over and over and over, and then you put it
mhm,
together and over and over and over. We've all know how to memorize, right? Okay,
mhm.
so remember, no, remember, don't memorize, master instead. That's number one. Right, number two, and this is a good one. One forgotten line creates panic. One forgotten line creates panic. How many of you have ever seen a speaker with deer in the headlights?
Me.
Right? We've all seen that where they and all of a sudden they stop, their eyes get real big, and they just blank look on their face. I've seen it. The where I've seen it the most though is Toastmasters, because Toastmasters kind of teach people to memorize rather than become or master. But seen it all the time. Deer in the headlights, frozen, panic. You can't, everybody sees it. You can't even escape it. You can't even fake it. It's there, right? It's so incredible. So we don't want to
Arvee,
do that. We've all seen it. The speaker freezes, right? And then maybe they catch it, start somewhere else, but they just, panic. So we don't want to do that. Number three,
question.
number three, every audience. Oh, question, Katrina?
Yes, but that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I memorize, but I'm not speaking over 15 minutes. I'm afraid of freezing and forgetting what I'm going to say.
Okay. I'll show with you what you'll memorize. Because remember
Okay.
what I teach you memorize? One of the things I teach you to memorize is what? Your attention grabber.
Oh, yes.
Right? You're going to
Mhm.
memorize that, you know,
Right.
but you're just going to learn it. You're going to master it because you're going to say it
Hmm.
over and over and over again. How many of you want more clients? How many of you not only want more clients, but you want a ton of clients? Boom. That's
Hmm.
memorized. Then what do you memorize? It's the next one is the
The
welcome. Well,
Yeah, I was going to say the
we're
greeting.
memorizing and knowing our formula. So the
Okay.
next step is the welcome. And the welcome
Hmm.
doesn't mean welcome, right? The welcome is, well, for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you and your wife can stay together.
Hmm.
But first, let me thank you for being here.
Right.
See, that
Hmm.
you could say memorize, but is it? No, it's learn.
No. Right.
Learn the system and you'll know what to say.
Okay.
Write that down. Learn the system and you'll know what to say. You don't have to memorize it. That's what I'm talking about when I say master your message. Know
Okay.
the system and you'll be able to master the message. Because all you have to know is the system, and then you can be authentic because your welcome will be authentic. Your thank you will be authentic because it'll be here present today.
Hmm.
Thank you for being here. What a great audience. You ladies look beautiful, right?
Okay.
Whatever you want to say, you're free to say it. Just follow the formula. All right,
Okay.
but we're going to talk
Thank you.
about more. You're welcome. We're going to talk about more of that in a minute. Okay, so again, now number three, every audience is different, right? So Jackie, your audience that you just had was different than the CBP audience I just saw you at. So because every audience is different, we can't memorize because our thank you is going to be different for them. Might be business owners, it might be Christians. We're going to talk a little differently. If we're not in a Christian group, but we have something about that in our speech, we're probably best to leave it out, unless it's in our personal story, right? If it's something about
Okay.
us, we can put it in. But if it's something about, reading a Bible verse, Jackie, that says God gave us fruit and vegetables for a reason, well, we might leave that part out, right? During a secular, it's up to you, but I'm just giving you an example of why we don't want it so hardcore memorized. So every audience is different. We might tell them a different story. And we've talked about this, customizing per audience. If it's a real estate group, if you're gonna give a testimonial, you want to pull out your real estate clients or your loan officer clients and share a testimonial about them.
Hmm.
If it's an entrepreneur, it's about them. So whatever it is, maybe you're telling the same story over and over again, but you have a pool of stories. You pick one and use it for that particular speech for that particular audience. So
Okay.
stories can be different. You can spend more time on a certain point. If you know it's health advocates and you're talking about health, maybe there's a certain point you want to drill down a little further than you might for an audience that doesn't really care about health or supplements or something else. That's up to you. All right. You might, and a lot of times we have not enough, we have shorter presentations. We developed our 30-minute presentation, but we only have 15 minutes. Okay. So again, you can't be that flexible if you're chained to the words. People that memorize their speech, write it out, memorize it when they have 15 minutes, guess what they do? They tell you, well, this is a 30-minute speech, but I only have 15, so I'm going to talk real fast because they don't understand how to condense it using the system. They don't understand that we can knock out some pieces of meat and make it shorter without shortening anything else. They are stuck to what they've memorized, and they're going to give it to you no matter what, hell or high water. So, and it doesn't feel good because it just feels like they're blasting us with an already used speech. So, number four, real speaking, real speaking is a conversation. It's a conversation with your audience, right? Remember, we've talked about how public speaking has changed over the years. Used to be a lecture years ago, then it used to be a presentation, and now people just want a conversation. Just talk to me. Now, doesn't mean you don't rehearse. Don't get me wrong on that. You are rehearsing, but you've rehearsed so much that it sounds like normal conversation. Remember, you become the script and then you're just perfectly natural. It's auto generated in your brain, in your heart, and you just deliver it and you deliver it in an authentic way. But here's the benefit. If something happens, somebody comes in the room or somebody raises their hand or somebody does something, and you get interrupted, you can quickly go back to where you were. If you memorize it, you can't. You'll lose your place. That's it. Forget about it. But when you become the script and like you know it, the back of your hand and forward, backwards and forward, then anybody can interrupt you. The sky could fall down and you could pick up where you left off. There was a time that I was speaking at a loan officer's office, right? 20 or 30 loan officers. And we had a fire drill in the building. It was a high rise and we had a fire drill. And we all had to go outside on the curb and stand there and wait for the fire drill to be over. And then we came back up to the room and I finished the speech. Now, if I had had it memorized, I would have been at a loss for words. You never know. Anything that can happen during a speaking engagement, ask me because I probably experienced it firsthand. But you just graciously go and graciously come back. And I use that time to network with people, to meet them, to chit chat, to ask them how do they like the presentation so far? What is it that they want to get out of it? What is their speaking goals? So take advantage of that. Don't go and complain and feel sorry for yourself because you were interrupted as a speaker. How dare them? I've also, at one point, we were asked to leave. This is a different speaking engagement where I was at a networking event at a restaurant and we were asked to leave that room and go over to another room. Then we all had to pick up our stuff. I was stopped midstream of my sentence and had to get up and go to another place and finish my speech. And, you just kind of have to laugh it off and go with the flow and, just mark it down to your speaking experiences. So it's crazy, crazy the things that can happen. I'm sure you've all had some of those experiences. All right, so it's a conversation. Real speaking is a conversation, right? The best presentations feel like you're talking to one person, but you're talking to everybody. And they feel like you're talking to them, right? How many of you have been in the audience and you go, oh, they're talking to me, right? How many of you have experienced there? I mean, not like right at me, no question. How did they know? And that's what you want your audience to feel like. And you can't do it if you memorize. You have to do it with a conversation. Number five, remember, and I love this one, memorization creates robotic delivery. Robotic delivery. Talk about not being authentic is one thing. That's the first thing. But robotic, it's just so, even if you got it right, even if you didn't miss a word, even though you've never had, deer in the headlights, it would just be so automatic that it's robotic. And you might be thinking, well, Arvee, if you practice enough, that's like memorization. It's not robotic. That's why I say practice for 1 hour for every 2 minutes of speech, because that will push you through the robotic feel into becoming the script. But if you don't, if you only practice 5 hours, let's say not 15, if you have a 30-minute speech, it's 15. Just take however long the speech is, cut it in half. So, Katrina, how long should you practice for your 15-minute speech? Okay, she's gone. Anybody could tell me in a 15 minutes?
7.5 hours.
That's right, 7.5 hours, especially if it's the first time. Now, if it's a speech you've delivered over and over and over, and it's your signature talk, then no, you don't have to do it that many hours. Maybe an hour,
Mhm.
however long you need to reaffirm it, to regenerate, energize yourself, and to be able to deliver it with confidence and ease. So it might be an hour, might be an hour and a half. But a brand new speech, minimum 7.5 hours. So what happens is you kick through, you practice through the robotic stage, the memorization stage until you become the script and it's automatic. And now, guess what? If you think of something that you didn't think of when you were rehearsing, you can bring it in the day of the event. And that happens to me all the time. A lot of times, I plan on my stories, but sometimes there's people in the audience that I just feel that they need to hear this story, or God lays it on my heart that they need to hear this story, or an example, or something that I didn't plan on sharing. I know that happens to you, Dr. Love, all the time, right? I mean, you just got, if you rehearse enough, you can be intuitive to your audience and know what they want. If you're in your head, you will not be able to. It's easy. Just rehearse more. That's all. That's the solution, the answer to your prayers. Just keep rehearsing. If you're scared, rehearse more. If you're afraid you're going to forget, rehearse more. Whatever it is going on with you, rehearse more. And I guarantee you it will go away. All right. Number 6. I love this one too. Your brain works better with landmarks. Think of yourself traveling somewhere, right? So Ramona's in Arizona, right? Arizona, or Utah, Utah. Now, did you drive to Utah?
Yes, we drove to Utah.
Do you have certain landmarks that you look at
Oh,
as
definitely.
you drive? Maybe it's a gas station, maybe it's a, burger joint, right? Maybe it's somebody's house. Do you have landmarks that you look for? Okay,
Definitely.
give us a couple of those landmarks.
What we always look for, um, what I'd say the first one we look for is like Baker's because it actually that giant thermometer,
Bingo, love it.
a giant thermometer. And then there's another place that has, it's called Seven Magic Mountains. They're stacked up. A bunch of artists stacked up seven huge boulders on top of each other and painted them different colors. And they're just before Las Vegas, kind of right there. So,
I haven't
Mhm.
seen that. Okay, nice.
and then of course, Las Vegas has its own. We like to look at the pyramid one or the one that looks like it's from Star Wars, like it's a big, the big building. And
Right.
past that, we always like to go through uh, the canyon there, um, which I can't think of right at the moment. It is.
It's okay. The point being is that when you travel, you
Yeah.
somewhere over and over again, you look for those kind of landmarks.
Yeah.
We want to do that in our speech. That's why I recommend acronyms. Acronyms are a landmark, right? Look, A. A stands for, right, authenticity. L stands for love. I mean, those are landmarks. They will jiggle your memory. That's all you need is a landmark. You don't need to spell out every single thing that you're going to say. We don't need to memorize everything we're going to say because we're going to be in the moment. All we have to know is L stands for love. And then in the moment, we could talk about love. You know, V is for vegetables. And then we could talk about, oh, yeah, there's 12 vegetables. Today I'll talk about the color. Maybe next week you'll talk about something else that audience needs,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
you want to make sure that you create these mental roadblocks. Opening, right? Story, your story. There might be several landmarks within your story so that one leads to the other so you don't forget it. It's strung together. Any lessons, any principles, the acronym, strategies, call to action, all of those should have a bit of a landmark and go into one into the other as if you're just driving a road map to home or to Utah or to Vegas and you know those landmarks. Okay? They kind of become a natural roadmap to your speaking success. Number 7, mastering the message builds confidence, your confidence, and the confidence of your audience. Mastering the message builds confidence. Confidence doesn't come from memorizing words, it comes from being, right? Becoming the script, knowing it inside and out, and being confident that you're going to deliver it. And then, Katrina, that'll replace any fear you might have for going overtime or
Mhm.
not, or forgetting something, because you can't go overtime if you've rehearsed it 7.5 hours and you looked at your clock each time and
Mhm.
you got it down and you got it down and you got it down. I mean,
Mhm.
anybody that's any good with anything practices it.
Right.
They practice it. And guess what? The more they practice, the better they get. I don't care if it's football. I don't care if it's eating right. I don't care if it's exercise, speaking, whatever it is, playing piano, singing, dancing. The more you rehearse, the better you're going to be. Period.
Mm.
Period.
Okay.
There's no such thing as too much rehearsal or too much of anything. Do it until you feel you've got it. And then you've got it. And then you can be
Okay.
confident you've got it. And you don't ever have to be afraid of anything again because you've got it. It's been replaced.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna okay. Okay. There's a few things that I'm gonna tell you that it's okay to learn or i.e. memorize or master. Okay? And that is, of course, I said it already, but the opening. You're gonna know the opening. Whatever. How many of you blankety blankety blank? How many of you not only blankety blankety blank, but you blankety blank, right? Whatever your opening sentence or sentences are, you're going to have that down. You've got to come out strong. That has to be known. You have to become that, or i.e., memorized, whichever word you want to use. And of course, the closing. You've got to have that down. What are you selling? How are you going to say, sign up for my calendar? How are you going to say, whatever it is you're going to say in the closing? That has to be down. You have to have it down. Say it the same way. Again, rehearse it, rehearse it, rehearse it, rehearse it. Because audiences can tell. Maybe you have a great speech and then you come to the close and you kind of well, maybe we could do maybe do you have a paper? Oh, I have some papers here. We know it. And if you don't confidently deliver your clothes, we're not going to confidently buy it or sign up for you. That's just the way it works. Okay? All right. Any stories? Now, know your stories. Know them. Your professional story, testimonials, any examples. Know them. Say them over and over again. Have, like a handful of stories that you use that you say over and over again. Maybe not all of them in one speech, but that you maybe interact per what kind of audience it is. But have stories ready and know those stories inside and out. Put names to them because it makes them more real, but call them Bob and Mary. We all know Bob and Mary are fictitious names for characters in your speech. All right. Transitions. Know your transitions, especially from one step to the other. So I have attention grabber. What's the next step?
Welcome.
What is it?
Welcome.
Welcome. So what's a transition? If I'm saying, how many of you want more clients? How many of you not only want more clients, you want a lot of clients? People are raising their hands, then I have to have a transition to the next thing. So I'm saying, great, you're in the right place because for the next 30 minutes, I am going to share with you. So, where does my welcome really start? For the next 30 minutes.
At the great.
For the next 30 minutes. That's welcome,
Okay.
right? So my sentence ended. How many of you want more clients? How many of you want more clients? That ends, right? My welcome begins at for the next 30 minutes. So, what is my transition? My transition is great,
Great.
right? It's just one word, but it's a transition. It hooks them together. Great. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
know your transitions. We can't just, it's not a block where we're going boop, 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 boop. We don't want it to sound like that. Like Jackie, you did a great job going from one transition to the other. It should be seamless. And it was. All right. So know your transitions. What's the transition into your story?
Would it be okay with you if before I begin, would it be okay with you if I tell you a little bit about me?
Yes. That's a transition statement. And we're all going, yes. And then you begin your story. Beautiful. Beautiful job. Yes. All right, so know your transitions. Now, then know your key points. Like I mentioned before, let's say we use the acronym of love, LOVE, they're key points. I know L stands for whatever, leverage. O stands for optimism, whatever it is. I know that, right? Then I know my key points, but I don't write them down. I don't memorize them. I know them by rehearsing them. Right? Then I talk about leverage. I talk about optimism. I talk about victory. I talk about, but I don't write it down. I know it. That's your information that you know. That's how you can stay authentic. That's how you can stay in the moment. That's how you can stay connected to your audience. Don't hunker down and try to memorize. You know your stuff. Katrina, you've been doing what you do for years. You've been coaching
Mhm.
for years. You probably have tons of great stories to share, right?
Yes. Right.
And you don't have to use them all. Pick out the best, two or three that apply to most married couples, and boom, tell those over
Mhm.
and over and over again.
Okay.
All right. Um, okay. And then just everything else in there, all the transitions and everything that you talk about, it's just delivered naturally when you don't memorize it. More of a conversation style. All right. So let me see how much time do we have left? Where's my time? Okay, we have some time. All right. So I want you to, we're going to do a little acronym now. We're going to put the word speak just as a reminder. All right. So S stands for structure your message. Structure it. Doesn't say memorize it, doesn't say write it all. Just like, okay, what am I doing? I've got the formula, I've got my personal, professional story, and I've got an acronym. That's structured. Okay, got my acronym. Or you don't have to use acronyms, you can use ways, right? 7 steps, like I just did. Be careful of the steps. Make sure you have enough time for the steps. You can't promise 5 and only deliver 3. That is a sure kiss of death. And I've seen people do this all the time. It's like they either say they don't have enough time or they say, oh, Well, sign up for my program and I'll give you the last two steps, right? Yeah, how many people do you think sign up for their program? This is all psychology. What would you do? Always ask yourself when you're creating your clothes, if you were sitting in the audience, would you sign up for your program? You have to be so excited about your program and deliver it in such a way that you yourself wish you could buy it. And that's the key. You have to deliver the invitation to your strategy session in such a way that you want it. What makes you want somebody's strategy session? You've been in these meetings millions of times. You've heard hundreds of speakers. Put yourself in their position and think. What is it? Is it the offer? Is it because they said the value? Then put the value in. Yet I see so many people do strategy sessions and put no value. Or this is a good one that gets me, and I won't do this one. 15-minute strategy session. 15 minutes? I mean, that's hardly a hello. I won't even bother for 15 minutes. But an hour is too long. So 30 minutes, 35 minutes if you want to be clever. But sit and think, and again, this applies to me and my audience. Your audience might be different. The age group could be different that they want an hour. But you yourself, as part of that, have to decide what makes you motivated to move into action because it's probably the same that's going to make your clients motivated. Most of us speak to our peer groups. I'm not going to speak to teenagers, try to motivate them. I've done that. That was awful. That was the worst experience I've ever had. No more. Don't make me do this. But for the most part, Ramona's going to speak to younger moms, but she's been a mom, 12 children. She's been a mom, so she knows, right? 10. What was that? 10. Okay, 10. You know, 10, 12. What's the difference? Okay. So structure that speech. Now, the next one, the P is prepare your stories. You know what stories you're going to share. Prepare them, refresh, even though, oh, I know that story. Just say it a few times. Make sure where it goes in your speech, practice it, and make sure that's the story that you want to use. The E, establish your key teaching points, which we already talked about, can be an acronym. They can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, getting back to the close, I got a little derailed on that for a second. But getting back to that, just finishing that up, sit yourself and put yourself in the position of buying. How would you buy? How would you sign up? What would motivate you? For me, 30 minutes, the value of it, and then I like a little incentive. Give me some gifts, right? Give me a little incentive for signing up. Something that's really of value. Something I can have now, right? And whatever that is that pertains to and maybe it's a book. Maybe it's a whole book. Maybe you have a garage full of your books that you just want to get rid of, right? People love books. I was I was at my CBP meeting today, and and you've heard me say this on these calls, but I'm always touting Tommy's book because I love it. It's like so profound and it just I go to it and read it almost, like you read the Bible where you just open it up and, it speaks to you. And so I thought this morning, I thought, I'm always talking about Tommy's book. Why don't I just bring my own book, right? I've never brought my own book to CBP unless I was speaking. I never did. But some told me bring the book. So I bring the book, right? And during my intro, I mentioned the book, big whoop. Nobody did anything, said anything, or anything. Nobody even cared, right? I'm like thinking, that was kind of a dud. I wonder why I brought this book. That was kind of a dud. Nothing happened, right? Not a big deal. And then after the meeting, I'm getting ready to leave. And this young man comes in. He's got a Bible. He looks at our sign, says Christian Business Partners, and so he starts to talk to me about it, right? And asked me about it and shared it with him. Well, he's from Las Vegas, right? And you say, and just in passing, he goes, yeah, he goes, my wife speaks, right? She speaks sometimes. And that's all. And talking about it. And then I introduced him to our president, which is Tommy, and he starts talking to him. Well, then his wife comes in. She's like 8.5 months pregnant, right? So I'm talking to her, and she tells me that they're here because she was asked to speak. And I went, huh? Told her what I did and everything, and I gave her the book. I said, here, I think this will help you. Is that God or is that God? And she was so thrilled. It wasn't like she went, oh, okay. She was like, oh my God, this is so great. Oh my God. And she opened it right away and she's like, oh, excited about it. That's God. All right. So you just never know. You just have to be open and obedient and listen. And that's what we have to do too. When we're sitting there with our clothes, be open to what it is that speaks to you and how you would sell it, how you would sign up for it, how you would buy it. And then do that. Don't do what someone's told you to do. Don't do what you think you should do. Be creative. I mean, Jackie was creative when she spoke to our event because she had the things on the table, which I thought was really interesting. I've never seen that before. Again, I gave her a little tip on one other thing to do because I didn't know what QR code it was to. I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to pick it up and do it because I didn't know where it was going to take me. So all she needed was say, sign up for Jackie's free strategy session or whatever. But be creative and and sell it how you would buy it. Sell it how you would buy it. Okay, enough of that. Establish your key points. A is adapt to the audience, which we've talked about. These are all things we've talked about. I just put them in an acronym. Adapt to your audience, right? How do we adapt to our audience? I gave you a couple examples. Renee?
Yes, hi, sweetie. I'm sorry, Arvee. I was looking at my bird. It's in front of me. So sorry. Well, I'm
No,
sorry. What was
no,
the question, Arvee? It's okay. Say it
no,
one more time.
no worries. I'm just trying to get your mind off of things.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question to me, please?
Okay, so adapt to your audience. My
Mhm.
question is what is a way that we adapt to our audience?
Oh,
I gave you a couple. What's a way?
okay. Adapting to the audience. Is this before the presentation or during the presentation?
You're in the presentation.
I'm in the presentation. I would say ask a question. How many here have done this before and have them raise their hand?
Okay.
And
That's audience participation.
right.
That'll work. That'll work. Jackie?
Yeah, whatever kind of an audience it is, you want to come prepared for that audience. Like if it's business owners, it would be different than health professionals for me.
Correct. So you would adapt it through stories, your stories. You might change your testimonial to be something more business than health related.
Arvie,
Mhm.
would you ask the audience, when how we get there ahead of time, you train us to get there an hour ahead and shake their hand at the door. Would you read the audience as they're coming in and ask them a couple of questions about them? Like if there are all people who are collecting dogs, dog breeders, which has nothing to do with being a Christian.
Yes.
Wouldn't you adapt it to something about dogs?
No, because it's too late because you've already prepared your speech.
Oh, I got it.
So if
Okay.
you do that, you want to go the month before, the meeting before, and
Yes.
discuss that and then use that to develop your speech.
Right, or ask the event planner who's hiring you or who asked you to speak. What is
Abs-
the audience? Is that
you
right,
have-
Harvey? Pardon me?
Yes, that's one of your questions you need to ask.
The person who invited you to the event.
Yes, when you're getting it all down and they call you or whatever, and you're talking about the event, what it is, what you find out how many people, how long is your speech, What does the audience consist of? How many people are going to be there? All of that. Where is it going to be? You have to ask those upfront questions so you can develop your speech.
Right.
Because
And
if
the
it's
stories.
an audience that you don't adapt, it, that you don't do at all. Let's say it's an audience of, let's say,
Gardeners.
audience of
Gardeners.
atheists or something. Maybe you want to say no.
Did you say atheists?
Yeah.
No, I would say no.
Yeah. I mean, I just went to an extreme.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say gardening.
Gardening. There you go.
See?
Gardening.
Gardening. So nothing wrong with gardening,
Yeah, I don't know anything. Well, how can I adapt,
I
marriage
would, I
to
would,
gardening and love to gardening?
that's an easy one for me because I would talk about love and relationship is like nurturing your garden,
There you go.
pulling out the weeds once in a while, loving on it, watering it, fertilizing it, loving on it, putting positive energy on it, and watch it bloom.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect
Thank
example.
you.
Okay, and let me see how we're doing on time. Okay, and the last one is the K. Know your material, don't memorize your words. Know the material, don't memorize your message. Instead, right, we rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, and we become the message, or what I call becoming the script. Right? And one of the last quotes I want to leave you is this: memorize the map. Remember, we talked about landmarks and everything. Memorize the map, not the message. Memorize the map, not the message. So, what is my map? The map is the formula, the system. That's the map to develop a great speech. You have to memorize that. You have to know it like the back of your hand. So if anybody, not only when you're doing your new speech or developing a new speech, but if someone says, you've got 5 minutes, that better be running through your head. Attention grabber, welcome, thank you, points, and then close. At least those 5 things, because most of the time in 5 minutes, we can't really do any close. No sense us going, if you have any questions, come and see me, but you could. But mainly what close? Oh, sign up for my this or that or whatever. But mainly you have to start it out. So know the system. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. That is our lesson today. Are there any questions before we end our call? Anybody want to comment, question? Did everybody get all the points?
Very good, Arvee. And no, I didn't get all the points.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay, who could tell her what number 5 is that wrote it down? Let's see if everybody's
Just have the word script.
Number 5 is memorize. Memorization creates robotic delivery. Yeah.
Okay.
We sound like it's memorized, and we say every word and do every action just as we memorized it.
Okay.
And if someone interrupts us, oh no, then we'll forget.
Absolutely. And then I missed was it E? I missed one of the letters.
The one of the letters, which one?
I think it was the E, the acronym was speak, right?
The E or what?
Yes.
Oh,
Establish your key points.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dr. Renee.
okay. I have a question, but it has nothing to do with this, but it has to do with you, Arvee. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Are you still doing, I would see you before doing reels, like about speaking. Are you still doing those?
I don't do them very often, no.
Okay.
I
Are you
don't.
still looking for new clients? And was that pregnant lady, was that a potential client for you since she's a speaker?
Okay. Who?
Oh, remember the man that you saw at your networking group and he was talking about your book and he was holding a Bible and his wife comes in who happens to be a speaker, but she's also pregnant. would you contact her and say, I'm also a speaking coach, and would you give her a couple of pointers and say, and
Yeah.
maybe have her as a prospect for a client? That's my question.
Well, yes and no. So, because she was pregnant, about ready to deliver, I wanted to be sensitive to that. So I didn't try to market to her. But when I gave her the book and told her, maybe this will help her, and she's like, oh, I'm going to read it on the way home and I'm going to read it when I'm in the delivery room or whatever. Um, um, I just told if you need to contact me, if you have any questions or need to contact me, my information is in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to like pushing her and try to sell her. She's almost gonna pop for heaven's sake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And your information is in the beginning of the book and always at the end of the book. Your contact.
Mine's at the end, but I don't see why you can't have it at both places.
Okay. And do
Uh,
you have a bookmarker as a bookmarker that has your information and a QR code? Have you done anything like that when you give away
um,
a bookmarker in the
I
book?
have, but it's for my mastermind. So it's a score, a soar, well, not score, but soar. But yeah, I have, but I don't have one with I don't have one that's, excuse me, for the book, but that is a good idea for people to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have lots of
Oh,
bookmarks.
I like your butterfly. And
Yeah.
is your information, oh, I love your bookmarker. Love that. And your phone number and QR code and in email is on there?
No,
Oh, okay. Is that on purpose?
on purpose. Typically, remember,
Oh,
you only want to do one offer at a time. So I'm offering them a way this is to my calendar actually, because you can't sign up for my mastermind unless I know you,
right.
right? Like this, or we have a conversation.
That's
So
your
there's
is
no
that a
way
QR
anybody,
code?
yeah,
Okay, and
in
then
my
they
calendar.
go out, they make a book you in your appointment book calendar,
Uh-huh.
and then
Uh-huh.
you get to talk to them and then they give you money and then they come here.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
something like that. Yeah.
right.
But you could do one for your books. I recommend that to everybody. I should do one as well.
So
And
say,
then
I'm sorry, say it one more time, please.
I recommend for everyone to do one,
Oh,
whether
yeah.
you have a book or not, and
Hmm.
then just put a QR code to your calendar
Yeah,
because this is giving them something.
people love that.
People love it.
Yeah, I have bookmarkers that I always carry, but I punched a hole at the top. And I have butterflies and I have a thing about Esther. Okay, and about my book, and then a hole, and then I have my colors, purple and pink, in a yarn, in yarn. So I made like 300 of them. I punched them, and then we were driving someplace, and I had a pre-cut yarn. And then you know how the yarn comes out of a book? So they can see it right away. And they get all like giddy because you can touch it, feel it, and they say, oh, I made 2 sales from it out of 200 bookmarkers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so they became clients, but it's just something they touch and feel. And it's not a business card, and it's a bookmarker that everybody needs that.
Right.
Okay,
That's wonderful. Beautiful.
thank you.
Good job. Okay. Yeah. Everybody go and make your bookmarks. You can make your own on
Yeah, Canva.
Canva and then just have a printer print them for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like
Okay.
today printing.
All right. Any other questions or comments before we end our call today?
Very good.
Okay. You're welcome. Don,
Thank
we
you,
haven't
Arvee.
heard from you at all today.
Well, you can hear what I'm dealing with.
Your bird. Talk about, yeah. Yeah. Sunny.
Oh, does Dawn have a bird also?
We
Yeah.
have one. We share them.
Cockatiel. A
Oh,
cockatiel.
does it go to your house and Dawn's house? It goes back and forth?
Sometimes,
Oh,
yeah. Show 'em
okay.
Sunny.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Do you have a carrier for it, the bird? A bird
Yeah.
Yeah.
carrier? Does it step on your finger and goes into its own carrier before you put it into the car?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yes, come on.
Yeah, I have 2 carriers. I have the big cages, but then I train all my birds to go in the hand and they go in a carrier. And so when I push the dogs in their stroller, I also have the bird in a carrying case. So he goes on a walk with us.
Nice. Where
So
are you getting him?
Yes.
It's so odd. He didn't want to come. He just wants to sing.
Oh,
He just wants to sing.
Oh.
oh.
Can you roll the cage behind you? So
Yes. Thank you.
Come on,
Thanks,
Sonny.
Dawn.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Actually, we wondered what happened to you.
Yeah, come on. Here he goes. Here he goes. Come on. All right. He just wants to sing.
Oh, that's
That
good.
means he's really happy.
Yeah, he just
There
wants.
it is. Hi, Sonny.
Oh.
There he is.
So how do you transport him from Dawn's house to RV's house? How do
I
you?
have a little carrier.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a little. That's like a dog carrier, so you can't
Oh.
crush him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He just
have
drives
one.
around with me.
Yeah, I have one that's in acrylic. It's like a big box, all clear with holes in it.
That's cool.
That's a good one. And then so you have two cages, one at RV's house and one at your house?
Yeah, I have like a one that the little wire one that pops up, and I have a rolly one, and
Oh,
yeah, I love cages, so I have a few of them.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
very good. Oh, I'm so happy to see that.
Yeah.
They'll live a long time, especially if you don't put them in the draft and give them some greens. They love greens,
Yeah.
like kale and romaine and things like that. And they love that. Does he talk?
He tries to. I don't know what he's saying, but he does try.
Yeah.
He
sings.
whistles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
sings.
adorable. And
Yeah.
it's nice he has two mommies.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Real quickly, RB, you know they have the bird show in Pomona. It's called a bird family something. Just put bird show Pomona, and you're not too far from there.
When
So
is it?
they have I don't know. Google it. They have two times a year.
Okay,
Just Google it.
called
It's
what?
the bird show or the bird something.
Bird Show Pomona.
It is all birds. So that's bird seed, bird cages, carriers,
that'll be fun.
strollers, everything about birds, everything. And you can pick up a flamingo, a hawk, and little birds, finches, conures, cockatiels, cockatiels, and all kinds of birds. So
Hey, I'll check it out. Thank
yeah,
you.
definitely. And a lot of assortment of cages and toys, lots of toys. Great
Okay,
prices.
I'm going to say no because I might come back with a bird. I'm going to say no. I'm not going to go.
They're so easy. They're just simple. It's just so wonderful. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing, Dawn. Thank you, RV. This was a great class.
Yeah.
I loved it. Thank you.
Our prayers
Thank
are
you,
with
Jackie.
you. Our prayers are with you, Renee.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody.
Bye, Ramona.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
May God bless your week.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.